Hey everybody, Rick here with Departure Heaven. Today's date is the 25th of July. We are almost done with this month, folks. Folks, I just got done watching the presidential address of Biden on TV. He was on TV addressing the nation, okay? And he talked a little bit about a little bit of this and that, and then he addresses, basically the main whole point of that is that he is passing the torch, okay? We all know what that means. This is the first time since he's been on there, on Address the Nation, since he dropped out of the race, folks. Now, where am I going with all this, folks? Well, let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go to this article here. Well, they updated it. It was July 6th. This is when this article came out, okay, on the BBC. Okay, this is the article from their site. And this is what Biden said, folks. Only the Lord Almighty could convince me to quit. And it had a dash Biden. Okay, folks, an act of God. Okay, he didn't decide on this officially until Sunday of the 21st. Okay, I believe that's when it was. I'm looking at this is from AP magazine or AP news site. Biden's decision to drop out crystallized Sunday. His staff knew 1 minute before the public did. Okay, so it's saying at 1:45 p.m. Sunday, President Joe Biden's senior staff was notified that he is stepping away from the race. 1:46, the message was made public. 1 minute later, folks. Do you see this? What is going on here? Do you see what I'm talking about? The point is it was an act of God. That's what he said back on that day. He told them that, look, it would take an act of God to get me to step down from the race. Okay? And then on the 13th of July, on a Saturday, there was an attempt on former President Trump's life at the rally. We all know about that. And then a little bit later after that, Biden drops out of the race. Now you think about that, folks. And everybody's saying that God intervened, kept that bullet from killing Trump. Because a bullet grazed by it got his ear instead of his head. But he got his head, it would have been game over for him. Mysteriously, I believe, like I said, I'm not saying this whole assassination attempt on Trump was, done by God on purpose or allowed it to happen on purpose to get Biden to step down. But you got to think about it. Biden said it would be an act of God, the only way he would step out of the race. And then that was several weeks before the assassination attempt. And then here he is, he's stepping out of the race. Kind of weird, the timing of it all. And, this is my, based on what I think, opinions, etc., speculation or anything like that. I'm not trying to do misinformation or anything like that. I'm not trying to make up stuff. I'm just giving you what I think. That is strange that this whole thing with Trump happens after Biden said it would be an act of God to get him to quit the race. And then shortly after Trump, everybody, the Lord intervened, I believe he did, that day to keep Trump from being hit with a bullet. It was an act of God, okay, that kept him from getting killed that day. And then Biden seen that, and lo and behold, he steps down. Your thoughts, guys, what do you think? He addressed the nation tonight. I watched it, okay? He's passing the torch on. That's official now. We heard it from him, straight from him, on live television. Okay? And, Kamala Harris is now in this race. It looks like she's officially in. You might as well put a picture of Trump on one side and a picture of Kamala on the other side with a big V and an S, versus. You ever see those billboards in the Rocky movies or a boxing match at the world premiere? They put that verses, they put a billboard of them facing each other, or just the look of their eyes, like they're tough, mean looking or whatever. It's kind of like what I'm picturing in my head right now. Okay? Now, I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in trouble on YouTube, like a strike. Okay? But let me do it like this. It is my belief that God is positioning the chess pieces around on the chessboard for events to take place at a later date. Okay? Biden dropping out. There's one piece off the board. Now another piece moves in its place. Kamala. Because God sees the events that are getting ready to transpire ahead of that time. What if, so I don't want to say this, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but let's just say whoever's going to win this race, whether it's Trump or some other person or Kamala, because I don't know the future, folks, but World War III is coming. Okay, I believe it's coming, and it's coming regardless, because this is what the Antichrist stops in the future. I can't think of anything else big enough that he would stop from the world from annihilating itself to total destruction. The world would need such a world leader to do this. That means there will have to be presidents in place to initiate this, such as Putin and our current administration or the future administration. Okay? Let's say Kamala wins. No, well, let's just play what if for a second. And she basically reacts to Putin's threats the wrong way. They're not going to let her do that. Her advisors won't allow her. They'll make sure. But, of course, she will have access to all that. The key codes and all that. They pass it on to the new president. That's standard. But she's in charge of those nuclear codes, I believe. Or if Trump wins. Putin made a statement on TV about how Trump is going to end the wars over there. If Trump just goes over there and said, look, man, you need to stop it, and it's my new terms from here out. Putin's not just going to fly off and say, look, okay, no problem, I got it, just because Trump said so. Putin's going to stop the war on his terms, no matter who wins the White House, folks. Okay? Now, Trump won't put up with that. He's going to do something right after that immediately. Will he react faster than Biden would? Well, so far, we haven't seen anything from the Biden administration trying to stop Putin from carrying on with his campaign in Ukraine. All we're seeing is funding after funding after funding of billions of dollars just to help Ukraine. Okay? Question is, how would our new president react? Will Kamala or Trump fund Ukraine, or will we use a bigger, drastic, more step to stop Putin by calling on NATO, which we're already starting to see now, like them building up troops from NATO is what I meant by that. How would Kamala or Trump react, or some other future president? Could that be that God is positioning everybody into play for an event to take place later on? We are watching this happen right before our very eyes, folks. Whatever happens, folks, it is for God's purposes, because God only knows the day and hour of the rapture of the church and when this will take place. Okay? A lot of us got our minds set on this year. Strangely enough, this is the year of the elections. 2031 is the biggest date that we're watching for Christ's actual return to earth. Bob Barber believes it. A lot of other people believe it. We discussed it on our last week's live show on Prophecy Mondays. If you missed it, go watch the show. They're recorded on YouTube automatically every show, every week. It comes on 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss next week's. We talked about it. 2031 being the actual date of his return. based on the numbers in calculations, God didn't say we wouldn't know the day and hour, or excuse me, God didn't say anything about us not knowing the year. I don't see anything in the Bible about that. Could it be possible that we can know the year? Yes, we can. Possibly. But God did say we wouldn't know the day and hour. We would not know man knows the day and hour. That's right in the Bible. We don't know the day and hour. Nobody will ever get that right. Okay? But this year stands out from all the previous years because a lot of things are, all the things, I don't need to list them all. Okay? I don't want this video to be long. But we have the elections this year. And whatever God puts in that White House, or allows to be put in that White House for the new president, is going to impact all the stuff that's going to happen in the next 4 years. Well, in this case, we don't have 4 years. If the rapture is coming in 2024, which will have to happen in 2024, in order for Christ to come back to this earth in 2031, because there are 7 years you have to count back. That brings us to 2025, the starting of the tribulation. Therefore, we have 5.5 months left until the church is called home. Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a time to be playing around with your salvation. If he does come this year, you don't want to be left behind, folks. And the aftermath and the rapture will cause a lot of destruction and a lot of deaths on that day when it happens. Okay? I don't need to get into all the details. If you don't know Jesus Christ, this is the time to act. Today is the day of salvation. You do not want to be left behind. Or, God forbid, you died somehow. You get killed somehow. Or you pass away from a natural cause, a heart attack, stroke. Okay? You're not guaranteed your next breath. You're not promised tomorrow. Give your life to Jesus Christ today, folks. Don't wait. Put it off. And wait till it's too late. Jesus died for you, for your sins. He rose again on the third day. It says it in John 3:16. Look it up. It is his free gift, God's free gift to humanity, and it is God's promise to humanity that anybody that believes in his Son will not perish, but have everlasting life. You will go to heaven. You will leave. Your feet will leave the ground when the horn blows. We will go up. You will go up with the rest of us. Why would you want to say no and then to be left here to crash and burn in this sinking ship that is slowly sinking until it ultimately sinks into the water all the way to the bottom of the ocean? Because that's where this world is headed. It's like a sinking ship, slow sinking ship. Okay? Because they will not repent of their sins. Anyways, folks, I don't want to see anybody perish. Guys, hit the subscribe button right now. It only takes 2 seconds of your time, folks. Okay? All new viewers, I welcome you. Please subscribe to Departure Heaven. By you doing that, you're helping our channel grow, and you'll help us reach the lost. You hit the like button. What that does is it creates our video gets more in front of the YouTube algorithm, allowing it to be seen easier by people. The results will come up and people's popular search. Based on that, our videos will end up being shown on those popular searches. Therefore, more people can see our videos. The more views it gets, the more the video will be out there, easier to find. Okay? In turning, helping us grow our channel. Most of all, you're getting that video to more people's ears that may not be saved. You're doing your part by planting a seed in somebody to get them saved. You're saving someone from going to hell for all eternity, whether you know it or not. Alright, guys, just do that for me. It's free to do, takes 2 seconds. Guys, I love you all. Eyes to the sky, folks. We are about to go home. Get ready, folks. I will talk to you all later.